Dear Walter. Well, this isn't technically Walter, this is my journal. I doubt that Walter would even read this anyway. Like how I doubt I'm actually a detective? I'm a reporter at the Eyewitness Journal, if you can even call writing obituaries reporting. The point is, I need to do this. You went missing a few days ago. Again. And this time, I'm not sure if you're ever coming back. That's why I decided to take matters into my own hands. With that said, again, I'm not the police. As I've said, I'm not even a real detective. I don't know where to begin. For all I know, there might not even be a mystery here. But this is as good a place as any, isn't it? Lesser Evils, Episode 1, Eliza. You haven't been the best boyfriend lately. There, I said it. You don't take me out anywhere, nor have we actually spent time together lately. And I get it. You're busy. You just got your master's degree, and your father wants you to take over the family business when he dies. But it wouldn't kill you to drop by, would it? If I didn't know any better, I would have thought that you wanted to break up. You don't work normal hours, or so you've told me. That's why most of the hours you don't spend with me or the job, you spend sleeping. But it seems like all you do is sleep, which I frankly find hard to believe. I guess you could say I started looking for you about a week ago. Whose house is book club at tonight?
Ruth's.
Right.
I swear, you'd lose your own head if it wasn't attached to your body. Doesn't Walter live somewhere around here?
Yeah? Why?
I have a book I need to return to him. Do you mind if we stop by before we go to the book club?
Fine with me.
Have you got your coat on yet?
Yes, I have. Turn off your gramophone and let's go.
Ugh, still dingy. What floor does Walter live on again?
The 3rd floor.
Remind me why you forced me to borrow a book from him? I work in a library, Eliza. I have all the books I need.
Things were getting awkward between you two. I wanted to find common ground.
You know, sometimes I wonder what you see in him.
What do you mean?
Sometimes I truly believe that Walter's absolutely bonkers.
Where's your proof?
Frankenstein? Dante's Inferno? Faust?
Ada, they're books.
Listen, I have never met a normal man who has multiple copies of both on his bookshelf.
So he has an interesting choice in books. Excuse him for trying to break out of the Pride and Prejudice rich kid life he had.
Hey, I'm not trying to start an argument. If you love him and he loves you, that's all I need to know. Now, knock on the door.
I made you borrow the book to get you two to start talking. Didn't you like reading it?
You know why books about demons discomfort me.
Yeah.
I know they're literally from hell, but I can't help but feel like how they're written is so biased. Like, not all demons can be inherently bad, can they? They're individuals as well.
They're also not real, Ada.
I know.
It's nice that you'd still think of them, but can you please just knock?
Fine. For your relationship with Walter.
Walter? Walter, are you there?
Let's leave the book in his mail slot and come back later. What time is it?
Oh God, it's nearly 7. If we don't hurry, we're gonna be late.
We should go then.
I didn't think too much of it then. Sometimes you'd just leave for work for days on end without telling. And I trusted you. I really thought you were at work. Correction, I trust you. I mean, love is about trust, isn't it? Of course, you didn't try to contact me over the weekend. I spent it with Ada. To be fair, I didn't try to contact you either. At least, not until Monday. That Monday, I went over to your house just to drop by. When you didn't answer, I checked the mail slot. Sure enough, Faust was still there. I admit that I didn't do much about it at first. I mean, what if you were just on a business trip and I got the police involved? That would be embarrassing. I decided that I should just wait it out until you came back again. I didn't want to wait, but at this point, I'm used to it. But this time, I also decided that I would do something about waiting. I was going to ask where you were and what you were doing for once. That's when I decided to talk to Edwin. Hey, do you remember when we first met? I was writing an obituary for the Eyewitness Journal. It was September, and it was raining real hard. I thought it was strange that I had to go just outside the city in order to gather information. That's when I heard that I was writing one for Reine, wife of Dorian Reine, one of the richest men in the city. And your mother.
You're the one writing my mother's obituary. For the Gazette, right?
No, for the Eyewitness Journal, I'm Eliza Addington. I'm sorry for your loss.
Come in. I'll get you a brandy or something.
Oh, I'm not a drinker.
You want something else?
Coffee, I guess, if you have it.
Sure, I'll get you some.
Brandy at 10 in the morning?
It's my favorite drink. Here.
Thanks. To start, your mother's name? Reine? Mr. Reine.
Don't call me Mr. Reine. That's what my father goes by.
What do you go by?
Walter.
And your mother, she went by Reine?
Yes. She was a Goth, but she took my father's name after they got married.
The Goths are old money, though.
Mother knew that.
Do you mind me asking how she died, Walter?
An illness. Can we please move on?
You didn't have to answer that.
No, but Father would have killed me if someone thought that she had killed herself. Listen, ever since she died, he's been obsessed with death. More specifically, what happens to the company after he dies. He's been getting his affairs in order like he's going to be hung tomorrow. And that means forcing the business on me, making me take over.
Mr. Reine.
It's Walter.
Oh, right. Are you okay?
I haven't been asked that yet. By anyone.
Yes, but are you?
But to be fair, you're the only one I feel like I can talk to. The helper trying to get by, my father's caught up in his own bad business.
With all due respect, I doubt you're ready for this conversation. I should come back another time.
Eliza, wait. Don't go.
Mr. Reine, I wish you all the best, but I have to work.
Please don't go back. I promise I'll answer your questions. I promise to not act like I'm hungover. I just want to talk to someone.
Fine, but only if you're going to answer my questions.
I promise. Please, I just want to redo this entire conversation.
All right, I can do a do-over.
How do we start?
How about... Hi, I'm Eliza Addington. I'm from the Eyewitness Journal.
Hi, I'm Walter Reine. Would you like to talk?
That would be great. Anyway, Edwin. Edwin is odd, to say the least. Actually, not odd, more standoffish. But I was determined to get you acquainted with my friends, so I thought it was only fair to get acquainted with yours. But Edwin, he never seemed like he wanted to be friends. He's cold, aloof, never makes more than small talk with me. and for some reason, always taking painkillers. I could never catch him at his apartment, so I tried to catch him at work. He never told me where he worked, so I had to poke around, ask some of your other friends. I tracked him down to a bar named Alice's. Alice's is a former speakeasy. Rumor is that it was also a place for gangs to meet up, and still is one now. People also say that Alice's has seen its fair share of gunfights. Of course, now that Alice's is legal, it tries to keep that kind of trouble on the down low. But the bar, and its patrons, still keep a few old habits. For one, it wasn't welcoming of newcomers. I mean, back then, you never knew if a newcomer was an undercover detective or someone with a healthy disrespect for the law. So most of the people stay in their little cliques. A gang over here, a gang over there, and a few stragglers unaffiliated in the crime world looking for a drink or two. That night, that straggler was me, but I was looking for more than just alcohol.
Are you sure someone knows Walter here, Eliza? It doesn't seem like the type of place where he would go.
Edwin works here.
Oh, God. Him? You're going to talk to him?
Yeah.
If you're at the point where you're asking him, Walter's probably already cut up in a garbage can next to his apartment.
We don't have any evidence yet.
Evidence? Eliza, you're not a detective.
I know. I just want to make sure that Walter's okay. Hopefully on a business trip or something.
Just stay safe. I'll meet you back home, okay?
All right. Here goes nothing.
You again.
Nice to see you too, Edwin.
I don't know why someone like you would be here, and I don't seem to recall telling you where I work.
You didn't?
So why are you here?
Always cutting to the chase, aren't we, Eddie?
Don't call me that.
Have you seen Walter around lately?
Walter? I mean, hell if I know. Maybe he's, sleeping. That excuse.
But he's been missing for days. I was starting to think about calling the police.
I don't think that's necessary.
Oh my God, are you okay?
Let go of me.
Your nails are black. What is this stuff? And there are scars along your wrists. Do you need to talk about something, Edwin? Is there something wrong?
Eliza, if you don't stop while you're ahead, you're gonna get what's coming to you.
What do you mean?
You know what? I'm sorry. It's nothing, just keep your nose out of places where it doesn't belong, and we'll be fine, okay? I'm in the middle of a shift. Buy a drink or get lost.
Sure. Okay, I'll leave. I think it's time I go, anyway. I wasn't surprised that Edwin blew me off, but I was surprised that he tried to threaten me. When I met him, he seemed unassuming, if not mysterious. And a few moments after I left Alice's, I felt a jolt of energy in my body. It felt like how a gunshot sounds, if that makes any sense. And for a second, I could almost swear that my soul was coming out of my body, or something similar. The jolt of energy lasted only for a second, but I felt it for the rest of the walk home. I decided to sleep it off once I got there. Ada, are you home yet? You in here, Ada? Oh, God. Oh, God. The first thing that tipped me off that something was wrong was the silence. Ada hated when the house was silent because as much as she liked books, she didn't like how the library was always so quiet. But when I walked into her room, immediately I could tell that I needed to go to the police. When I walked in, there was black residue everywhere, just like under Edwin's fingernails. It was Ash. Sometimes when you left for days and I got scared that you wouldn't come back, I thought of a happy memory. Sometimes with you, sometimes with Ada. That eventually extended into me thinking of a happy memory whenever things went wrong. This time, I thought of you. I thought of the time you took me up to the roof of your house and told me that you loved me for the first time.
Do you see those stars over there?
Yeah.
That's Serpens, the snake.
And what's his story?
He was the son of Apollo, whose healing powers could resurrect people from the dead.
I didn't know that you knew so much about the stars.
I grew up here. It was one of my favorite things to do.
Do you ever miss doing this?
Oh, God, yes. The city can be so loud. I miss the quiet.
Then why did you move to the city?
To get away from home.
Really?
I hate this place more than the city.
Then why do you keep coming back?
The family business.
Of course.
You know, when I was younger, my father mentioned the family business once in a while, tried to get me interested. But now that Mother's gone, he's constantly been on my case about it.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Are you going to run the business after he dies?
He wants me to. He's been training me all my life to take over. I just don't get why he's bringing it up all the time now. I just can't wait until he dies and this is all over with.
You really don't like your father.
You don't know the half of it. He treated my mother and I like a trophy family for years. The business always came first. I'm not sure how I even managed to live this long with how he treated us. Sometimes I feel like ending it.
You don't mean that, do you?
I don't. You want to know why?
Sure.
It's because you're in my life.
Thanks.
I mean it, Eliza. You were there to help me through my mother's funeral, even though you barely knew me. You kept me from drinking. You even helped me write her eulogy. You didn't even know her, and you did a better job than I ever could. You know, you should write a book someday. I think it'd be really popular.
You think so?
I do. I'd even be the first to buy it.
You saying that means a lot to me.
Eliza,
hey, Walter, wait. You go first.
No, you were about to say something.
It doesn't matter.
Of course it matters. What you have to say is important to me.
I changed my mind about saying it.
Eliza, I love you.
What?
You're the reason I get up in the mornings. You're what keeps me sane. I would have ended up in a ditch dying of alcohol poisoning if you hadn't come along.
Walter.
You don't have to love me back. I just needed to say it.
Walter, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Are you...
Yeah.
Oh, God, you don't know how much of a relief this is.
Did you really mean what you said?
About what?
The eulogy. Me giving you a reason to live.
Of course. God, I'd do anything for you. Raise hell, raise the dead. Both? Now come closer. It's cold up here.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too. I need to file a missing persons report. Actually, I need to file 2.
Slow down. What's your problem?
I want to report missing persons. I also think I know who did it.
What are their names?
I think Edwin Buer was the one that did it. I don't know how, but...
I meant the people missing.
Walter Reine and Ada Moore.
Walter Reine? Isn't he the heir to one of the biggest alcohol companies in the city?
Yes.
Trust me. We'll do our best to make sure he comes back safe and sound. And your friend, too. Do you remember seeing Ash where any of the missing people were last seen?
Yes, when Ada disappeared.
We've got this handled, then. I know exactly who it is. It's another one of Angelique Dupint's stunts.
Angelique Dupont?
Famous criminal? Surely you've heard of her.
Yes, I have. The newspaper I work for covers her all the time.
Then you know that a crime like this has to be her work. We believe she's connected to a string of 8, now 10, kidnappings throughout the city. There's nothing left at the crime scene but ash. She's a performer first, criminal second. This has to be another one of her crazy stunts.
But I have evidence.
Leave the evidence collecting to the professionals, ma'am. We've got this. Take a pen and write down your number, and we'll call you when we have a break in the case.
I trusted the police. I really did. Maybe Dupont is actually the perpetrator in your disappearance. But I knew that Edwin was up to something. And you know I'm a reporter. I had to find out how and why and what, even if it wasn't connected to you or Ada. So I decided to take the case, or at least a small part of it, into my own hands. I went back to Alice's to find Edwin, but the trouble was that I couldn't seem to find him. Hey, have you seen Edwin around here lately?
Edwin?
He works here, goes by Eddie?
I'm sorry, that doesn't ring a bell. Could you be talking about Edwards? A Jacob Edwards?
No, I don't think so.
Then I can't help you there. Can I get you anything?
No, I think I'm fine. I don't suppose that you would know where the other bartender is.
My friend and I just don't know what a girl like you's doing in here.
It's a bar. Anyone can come in.
Not in this one, you can't. What are you doing? Who are you working for?
I'm not working for anyone. I'm looking for someone.
If he's been around here, you're probably gonna find him in a ditch next.
I'm looking for Walter Reine.
Another Reine. Their beer hasn't been sold here for decades.
I thought they were the most popular beer in the state.
And you'd be right, but no one here ever drinks at one of the Reine's drinks anymore.
I don't...
The last shipment of something here the Reines made was 26 years ago. Since then, the name has been synonymous with one thing.
What's that?
Poison.
And that's when I saw him. While I was walking out, I saw Edwin watching me from across the street. I walked closer, wanting to make sure that I was actually looking at Edwin and not just some look-alike. Then a car passed by and Edwin was gone. That's when it hit me. Was Edwin a figment of my imagination? Is that why I was the only one who could remember him? Were we a figment of my imagination? Us, I mean, not Edwin, our relationship. Did I conjure up this mystery so I could finally write the book that you thought I could always write? Did I conjure up how you loved me, just like I conjured up Eddie? I wondered. Then I felt like I was rising up and up, like a bird taking flight. The ground seemed to unravel around me, and everything turned black. I felt that same jolt of energy again, the same gunshot. It was almost like someone was narrating my life for me, but the narrator hadn't even begun to speak. But just as everything turned black, I saw someone in the distance. He had dark hair and a tattoo of a tower on his right arm. Instinctively, I started walking towards him. I didn't recognize him as we got closer to each other. Then, we got close enough to hear each other speak. What? I couldn't understand what he was saying. It was like we were talking underwater, trying to have a conversation. And then he took my hand, and we jumped. But instead of hitting the floor, he fell through it, taking me down with him. And we fell down, like Alice in the rabbit hole, through constant blackness. And that's when things started to feel real again. Oh God, where am I? Alcohol. I'm at a bar. Can I get a drink?
Here you go.
Thank you.
You know, I wouldn't be getting drunk here if I were you.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know what type of place this is, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be mentioning the Reine family.
As soon as the new person sat down, I recognized him. The man from, well, wherever I just was before coming here. As he ordered his drink, we locked eyes, but as soon as he saw me, he looked away. What happened back there was real, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. You look distressed. Are you having boy trouble or what?
What makes you think it's boy trouble?
The look on your face. My sister says that I make it look like that when I'm having boy trouble.
A bold thing to reveal.
Not in here. I'm Pascal Alighieri. I run the tattoo shop upstairs.
I'm Eliza Addington.
Charmed. What's a girl like you doing here anyway?
People keep asking me that. Why?
You know that it isn't the most law-abiding of citizens that drink at this bar. That's why all the people here are so suspicious of outsiders.
Don't I know it?
So, what are you doing here?
I came here to think.
Clearly? With a glass of brandy?
It's my boyfriend's favorite drink.
So you are having boy trouble.
Didn't say I wasn't. What are you doing here?
I mean, I live upstairs.
How long have you lived here?
A few months now.
And yet, it's like half the bar is still suspicious of you.
Are you a detective, Eliza?
I'm a writer. An obituary writer, in fact.
Is that what you're thinking about?
I'm thinking about how much I don't want to write about this one.
Do you mean your boyfriend?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh, he isn't dead, but he's gone missing, and I don't know what to do next.
Do you know what? I'm looking for someone too. Maybe we could help each other.
But I'm not a detective.
And yet, there's some reason why you think that you'll do better than the police.
You do too. I'll take you up on your offer. Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for a man named Edwin Buer.
Lesser Evils is written, directed, and edited by Kai Anjima. The voice of Eliza Addington is Lanessa Tremblett. The voice of Adam Moore is Euna, aka missparadoxspace. The voice of Walter Reine is Cedric Reeve. The voice of Edwin Buer is Gryffin Pedersen. The voice of Pascal Alighieri is Wolfie. The voices of the ensemble are Antoinette Berry-Snowden, Eleon Clark, Tina Daniels, and Zane Sexton. Special thanks to Dominique, Sara, Orian, Anthony, Dax, Mrs. Mancini, and the Right Now group at the Hughes Library for their help on the creation of Lesser Evils. Transcripts, trigger warnings, and sound effects credits can all be found at our website, which is in our show notes. Like the show? Consider telling us by rating and reviewing us on iTunes, using the hashtag Where'sWalter on Twitter, or contacting us at lesserevilspodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Tumblr and Instagram at Lesser Evils Podcast, or on Twitter at Lesser Evils Cast.